The first thing I remember is sunlight stabbing through my eyelids. It was harsh, unforgiving, and blinding. I blinked, shielding my eyes, and realized I wasn't in my bed. I wasn't anywhere familiar. The air smelled of pine and damp earth, crisp and sharp. Somewhere far away, water gurgled over stones. My head throbbed, and every muscle ached like I had been run over by a stampede of horses. And then I saw her. She was crouched near the edge of a small clearing, half hidden behind a tangle of ferns. Sunlight caught the tips of her hair, making it glow like fire against the deep green backdrop. She looked up at me, startled, her wide eyes, golden, almost unreal, locking with mine. For a heartbeat, the world narrowed down to just her. Then she vanished. Not walked away, vanished, as if she had melted into the forest itself. I stumbled forward, calling her name, though I didn't even know it. Wait. Please don't go. My voice sounded foreign, swallowed by the rustle of leaves and the distant roar of unseen water. The forest answered only with silence, but the way the shadows moved suggested she was close. I had no memory of how I got there. The last thing I remembered was driving home from work, the hum of the engine, and then a blinding white light. Now I was here, aching, disoriented, and utterly alone. I decided to follow. Every instinct screamed at me to stay put, to wait for help, but something about her, the way she had looked at me, compelled me forward. Step by step, I entered the thick of the woods, branches clawing at my arms, roots threatening to trip me. And yet, I felt her presence like a thread weaving through the air, drawing me deeper. Hours passed, or maybe it was minutes. Time had no meaning here. I caught glimpses of her from the corner of my eye. A flash of hair, a movement behind a tree. Every time I ran toward it, she would vanish, leaving only the faintest echo of her presence. I began to wonder if she was real or a trick my mind had conjured to ease the fear gnawing at me. Then I heard it, a soft humming, almost like a lullaby. My heart leaped. The sound led me to a narrow stream, where the sunlight danced on the water, fractured into gold by the ripples. There she was, sitting on a moss-covered rock, her feet barely brushing the water. She smiled, an expression so gentle it made my chest ache. "You shouldn't be here," she said softly. Her voice was musical, yet carried an undercurrent of warning. I don't know how I got here," I admitted, my throat dry. "Who are you? What is this place?" She tilted her head, studying me as though deciding whether to trust me. "This isn't a place for humans. Not yet. You were called or maybe chosen. I don't know which." "Called. Chosen," I repeated, the words tasting strange on my tongue. "By who? By what?" She shrugged, a movement so fluid it seemed impossible. "By the wild. By the forest itself. Some people are born blind to it. You are not." Before I could respond, a sharp cry echoed through the trees. My pulse spiked. She rose instantly, her eyes scanning the shadows. "I have to go," she said, almost to herself. "They are coming." "Wait." "Oh." "What?" I demanded, stepping closer. She gave me a look that stopped my words midair. "I can't explain. Not now. You have to trust me." And with that, she leapt into the undergrowth, moving so fast that I barely saw her form before she disappeared again. My legs carried me after her, but the deeper I went, the more I realized she wasn't running from me. She was running from something else. Something alive in the forest, unseen yet palpable, breathing in the spaces between the trees. Night fell quickly, though the sky above was just a sliver of deep blue between the canopy. I collapsed beside the stream, exhausted and frustrated. The forest seemed alive, watching me, whispering secrets I couldn't understand. Then, faintly, I heard her humming again, close and soft. "You're persistent," she said, stepping out from behind a large oak. This time she didn't vanish. She knelt beside me, brushing a hand across my sweat-streaked face, cool and soothing. "That will help," she said. "The forest can heal what it wants if it decides you belong." Belong? I echoed, unsure of what that even meant. "I don't belong here." "Maybe not yet. But you could," she said. Her eyes glimmered, reflecting the moonlight. "The wild chooses. Sometimes it chooses slowly. Sometimes, all at once." She reached for my hand, but just as I felt the warmth, a wind tore through the trees. Leaves whipped around us, and I felt the ground shift beneath my feet. Shadows moved with impossible speed. Her hand slipped from mine, and I tried to grab her, but she was gone, vanished into the night again, leaving only the lingering warmth of her touch. I spent the night wandering, driven by a mixture of fear and a strange magnetic longing. By dawn, I found myself at the edge of a cliff overlooking a valley shrouded in mist. And there she was, standing at the edge, hair streaming behind her like a flame in the wind. She turned to me, and for the first time she spoke clearly. "You have to decide now. Stay in the world you know or step into ours. Once you choose, there's no turning back." I swallowed hard, staring at the chasm between us, at the wild unknown below. Every instinct told me to retreat, to go back to safety, but my heart, my very soul, reached for her. I took a step forward, and then another. Before I could take the last step, she smiled, a fleeting, radiant smile, and disappeared into the wild. I stumbled forward, calling her name, but only the wind answered. I sat at the edge, watching the valley, feeling the emptiness she left. And then I understood. She wasn't mine to keep. She had appeared to guide me, to show me the world beyond. And now it was up to me to decide whether I was brave enough to step into it. I didn't move for hours, just breathing, feeling the life of the forest around me. Birds circled overhead. Deer grazed in the mist below, and the wild seemed to whisper her name, urging me forward. And finally, I took a deep breath, wiped the sweat and dirt from my hands, and stepped into the unknown, into the valley she had shown me, carrying the memory of her golden eyes and the warmth of her fleeting presence. Somewhere in the wind, I thought I heard her laugh, soft and triumphant, echoing through the trees. She had been there when I opened my eyes, and though she had disappeared, she had left a part of herself with me, a spark that would guide me forever into the wild. After chasing her through the forest and witnessing the strange, alive nature of the wilderness, the protagonist reaches a cliff overlooking a misty valley. The mysterious golden-eyed woman appears one last time, warning him that he must choose between returning to his familiar world or stepping fully into the wild unknown. She disappears before he can respond. Inspired and guided by the memory of her presence, he takes a deep breath and steps into the valley, embracing the unknown. Though she vanishes, she leaves behind a spark that will guide him, symbolizing courage, discovery, and the call of a world beyond human understanding.